I just had this flashback to the 90s. And I remember a time where I didn't have a television, which is very, very weird because television was such a huge part of me growing up. It's what entertained me. It was my whole world. It really is a big problem, an issue. They used to tell you all the time, my generation, 70s, 80s, that the TV was the demon. It's destroying your mind. It's garbage. It's destroying you. And I was like, you get to choose what you watch. It doesn't eat up your brain. You can choose the things that influence you. Like I used to watch nature documentaries, and I watched Who's the Boss and Welcome Back Kotter and all kinds of Columbo and Murder She Wrote and everything I watched. Picket Fences. That brings me to the 90s. So it would have been the early 90s that I definitely was watching television. But I guess it's as soon as I moved out like as like a nomad minimalist. And it's so strange that I made that transition like directly. I remember going to college and bringing a VCR and the best videotapes, but I was focusing on like creating and making videos and stuff like that at the time because that's what I went to school for. But I guess it just because I moved around to other cities and I was just free, and that is a good feeling. And I know that some people still do that, or maybe they've gone back to that. But I guess we all do that when we move to college. Certain people probably took different things with them, but I remember. Well, actually, okay, yeah, I remember just, moving with a bag and being able to move to a bigger city and then a bigger city and not having much. I guess that's not true. I went from a small fishing community to the biggest city in my province in Canada, Nova Scotia, and then I was watching. It was because I grew up watching like nightlife shows about Montreal. I kind of wish I never left Montreal. I wish I lived there today. Yeah, I do miss it. I would move back if I had the opportunity, and maybe I will. It has a good proximity to United States. We're right on the border. It's all southern eastern Ontario. There's just it's weirder and different, and everybody speaks a different language, and it's really old, and there's not a lot of change. Some of it, last time I visited, it was really run down. I think we're just going to go on memory tangents here, but mostly this is about. Oh, okay. Let's get back to how TV destroyed me. TV did mess up my what I see in relationships. So I think it might have a big part of why I'm a single old man. I've been in 14-year relationships and stuff, so I've done it. I did get to experience it. I don't like myself in those situations. I don't like that I have to compromise. I think I forgot to turn off my kettle. Hold on. Makes for good YouTube, huh? I'm right here. Don't worry. I'm right here. Where was I going? Oh yeah, and then I definitely did not have a good real life role models for relationships growing up. So I didn't know, I didn't see, yeah. But does anybody? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe some people do. I guess. If you think about it, though, nobody really does. Mine were either super like perfect positive or perfect negative. Like everything you see depicted on television is perfect. So even if everything goes bad in a television, it goes bad perfectly. So I think a lot of my perfectionism does stem with the amount of time that I spent watching TV and how it's a perfect world, and I need my surroundings to be perfect and I need everything to be perfect. And then it's the control issue, because I couldn't control, the real life scenarios of life that weren't perfect. So I'm a perfectionist, and that's not going to change. And guess what? I don't want it to. I love my perfect world. I love making everything perfect. That's what my life is devoted to. Now, balancing it with some other things that need to be done, that's what we have to work on. So yeah, I think that is the biggest part of how television screwed me up, even though I really thought it wasn't. But also at the same time, I don't mind turning to that as relationship, as social aspect. I don't it's already there and it's perfect, and I can turn to it anytime. So it's all laid out for me, and so it's all I know, and it fulfills that. I am happy. I'm not miserable. The only thing that is miserable is having to fit into society. But there's so many reasons why I don't fit in society, and maybe that is a segue to how was I able to just leave it all behind, because I did. And for years in the 90s, did I say what triggered this? This Sneaker Pimps song popped into my head. And I've been thinking about this I have been thinking about this, but then I put on the song and realized I've never seen that video before. How could I have not seen the video? But I was just listening to music I think I worked in retail at the time, so there was always music playing and so I was really into what was going on. And I had friends who were musicians. I, in fact, moved to Montreal to become a musician. I thought was what I wanted to do. I mean, I did. I really did want to do that. As a kid, I wanted to be a rock star, and I grew up and I tried to be, without telling anyone, which really worked. Move to a big city and do it. But at the time, it was more electronic and trip hop, and I did have lots of friends who made beats and made electronic music, and so I did experiment with that as well. So it was at a time where it was before the internet, but still there were computers, and there was this really cool computer that I got at Radio Shack that could do these really crazy things that no other computer could do, so I had it I had one at home, and I used to experiment with it when I was growing up and in the 80s, and the later part of growing up, and then the computer did these crazy things, and then I was what did I look online, or I don't think online was a possibility, but somehow I found out, I guess you went to stores and you asked, and it was kind of strange because this Tandy, that just came to me, could do things that more modern computers couldn't do. So I managed to get my hands on another one of those. Or did I get or did I go and bring the one that I had? I think I bought another one from Craigslist or something. Anyway, I managed to get one, and I did make music on this computer. But the computer, there was no internet. And there was no way to watch television. I'm pretty sure I didn't have I didn't have a TV. I know that in the late 90s, when I did start like a 12, 14-year-old relationship, that came with televisions and cats and pets and belongings and nesting, and kind of the downfall. It took away my nomad, but like, it was really easy. Like, I remember I moved once. I got this really tiny, so I really wasn't, I did start out as a minimalist, but maybe we all do, like I was saying. So I started out in this tiny room, and it was good enough for me because I didn't need a television, because all I did was work and socialize, just spend time with people. It's so funny. The people that I worked with became really good friends, and we would go listen to music, we would go dancing, we would just hang out, we would go to restaurants, and that's all we would do. Hang out in this beautiful city. I don't remember what I did in the wintertime. I just remember Montreal as summer, but I was there for years, so it was definitely there. And they have pretty harsh winters, but I remember ice storms though. There were ice storms that all the power would be shut off. That was fun, but I mostly remember those being with relationships. So that was a good part about relationships: hugging and taking baths. When the electricity went off, I would say, quick, fill the bathtub, take a bath, keep warm, and then you couldn't read or anything if the power was out. And I don't know. Beautiful old city. What a great concept. I guess it is. Montreal is the closest thing to New York there is in Canada. I smell cigarette smoke. Hate that. Okay, and then what happened? What happens next? Where do we go from here? We really do smell cigarette smoke. That has to end. That has to stop. We have to fix that. We have to get away from asbestos and cigarette smoke, and we have to get rid of belongings. We do need to go back to that better time. I realize how much stuff I have accumulated. Here, we can go to that. I have a lot of valuable things that I can sell. Back to Canada, though, the Canadian dollar is so bad. The shipping is so bad. I don't know how to explain this to people on eBay, but I can't. It costs $100 to ship outside Canada or the United States. So that is ridiculous. You just can't ship anywhere other than that. And then plus, it's $30 basically to ship anywhere in Canada or the United States. So that adds a $30 price on top of what people are selling. So I have to sell something that's over, I guess. Sometimes I sell things but it's not worth my while to sell something for $20 if shipping is $30, right? It just doesn't make sense. And plus the time and effort. So I do have a kind of $50 minimum, and when I do sell something for $50, there's fees and everything, and I don't get the shipping, so it's like, nonetheless, it doesn't matter. I'd say most of the things that I've accumulated over the years, I always bought things on discounts and stuff, so most of the things were $10 is probably, you could say, on average. Each item I bought was $10, and I sell it for a minimum of $50. So I am making more money than I paid. There is going to be a lot of stuff that will be worthless. There's lots of stuff that I can leave behind here, but it has to be done. It has to be done. Spring has started. There's a lot of yard work, and I'm dealing with that, and the pool, and I have to buy a lot of pool chemicals. I'm going to buy in bulk. Another thing that minimalists say not to do, but I do, and you save money by buying in bulk if you keep going. However, I do have to carry everything on my bicycle, but I do have a giant, sturdy industrial basket on this bicycle, and I should be able to bring home, I don't know if it's enough, at least half the summer season of chemicals. I think I hope that there's only 3 buckets in stock of one item that I need. Hopefully, and it's raining today, even though it's stopped raining. It says it's going to rain all day, so I decided to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. Okay, where were we? Montreal. I wish I never left. I wish I lived there. I worked at a law firm, which is really funny because back to TV. In the end, I mean, I just worked in the mailroom, but I left, and then I had enough of the city. The city was really emotionally draining because there was like big referendums at the time when I lived there, and the French people really hated English people, and well, not everyone, but some people were really mean to me just because I was English, and it's actually kind of awesome that I did get to be hated, and all of the laws were against me, and I didn't get to do things. However, white handsome privilege did pay off because I kept getting jobs in retail and even at the law firm because I was I guess I can say I'm smart and well-spoken, not so well-spoken when I have to speak on YouTube, but when I'm asked direct questions or I have to get something across, then it works. But this whole OCD dyslexic thing in the way my brain works, it's one of the reasons why I don't have kids. It's because I would never wish this brain on anyone, where you can't concentrate, you can't read, you can't write, you can't. It did make me smarter. I feel it did make me. Limitations breed creativity. I 100% believe that. It's what I've learned. Having so little my whole entire life and be able to take what I have and make something wonderful out of it has made me so happy, and I wish for nothing. I wouldn't want it easy. That's what, the standard white man gets it, the rich white man who grew up in a white house, who just gets the job that his father had before him. And my father was television, so television was so funny. I did follow into my parents' footsteps. The TV raised me, so I did go into TV, but it didn't. I threw it all away when I left to go to a bigger city, to become a rock star and model, and I did those things with minimal success because Canada. But at least I did them, and computers were always a huge for me, and then I also did that internet marketing, and I don't want to sell anything anymore. And retail, fashion, all was something that I thought was amazing. Again, television inspired that. But yeah, I did everything, and I've retired. And then COVID took everything. There was never been success. There's never been this huge amount of success. There's just been enough. But COVID even took away enough. So I lost all the jobs, which Yeah, I could have fought. I could have fought for. I could have fought for more. I still can fight for more. But there's no point. In the same way, I mean, I thought that it was so funny that COVID taught everyone what I already knew, like how to be alone and how to be independent and how to be creative with what you have. COVID taught everyone that, but it actually taught me, well, it taught me something wrong. It took away things easily that I didn't want to fight for, and so they were things that I didn't want. They were things that I was doing. It took away everything I was doing that I didn't like. I don't know what was, and why would I want to fight that? I went with it. How did we jump from the 90s into, I guess it was just a blur. I don't want to think of that period where I started nesting and accumulating and am I whoa, am I having a seizure? Am I regressing back to the best time of my life? Which, no, that is what the whole Sneaker Pimps music was. The thing that triggered is that, and I have talked about this a lot. It's always been better than before. It's always gotten better. I don't look back at that was the best day, you know. I heard on the John Tesh radio show, which I haven't been listening to. Luckily, there's a John Tesh radio show YouTube channel where he accumulates all of the stuff, so I don't have to listen to the radio show at night. I can just listen to his science studies of tips and stuff, which is pretty cool. Scientific advancements and studies that, you know, making humans better and how to. It's out of all of the self-help and how to and be better stuff that's out there. At least it comes from a place of science studies, and you gotta take science studies with a grain of salt, because a lot of the time they're biased, like a documentary, for example. Where was I going? Where were we? Oh yeah, that period of time being in relationships and nesting and accumulating, and I've been doing that for 30 years, and it is holding me down, it is holding me back. But I mean, it was obviously a good investment. I'm making 5 times. I don't know what that's a 500% investment. Maybe, is that the right way to say it? 5 times the amount. Anyway, also, you know, I'm paying like interest fees on my debt, so that's probably even higher than that, which we gotta balance that out. We gotta take that down so we gotta pay. Yeah, let's just focus on that. Let's focus on emptying and making the money and getting rid of, which I always say in my videos, that's what I'm doing. I can't believe I made that trend. I guess what I knew I had to make a video because I don't know where the time goes. I'm just always puttering around and doing stuff. Puttering, is that the right word? Maybe. But I needed to make a video, and I don't know what my purpose to make a video anymore is, but I have a lot to say, so I'm saying it, and I don't know, I'm kind of shocked that how important TV was to me, and then I could just cut it off, and it had, and I missed so much. I mean, I discover things now, like from the 90s TV shows that I didn't watch. Oh, when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about in this video, it had a lot to do with, I don't know what it is about the fashion in the 90s and the early 2000s, but it was bad. And that's another reason why I'm not digressing to a better period, is because if I was going to choose a period of that's the worst fashion, I would say the 20s is, I mean, there's lots of great things about but the 20s, the 90s and the 20s remind me of each other because it was a maximalist, or we're touching on minimalism again. It was a maximalist period. Like, there's something more nostalgic about the 20s because the deco stuff, but everything was so intricate. But there was this simple space, futuristic part of it. It was clean and streamlined. There just was a lot of detail. So I would say that the 20s, 30s was my second least favorite part in fashion and design, but the late 90s, early 2000s, I guess it's, yeah, I'd have to say it does fit in both of those areas. Just all of the buckles and the straps and the contrasting stitching and the bedazzles and there's just so much going on. It was such a maximalist period, which seems to be happening again. And people say that the 80s is more like, I don't know, that the kids that are 20 now, the kids that grew up in that period, which is the most nostalgic for them, they're coming into control and power right now. So they all have the jobs and creativity, and they really have this strong voice of how they like it, and they're bringing it back, and it's like, and it's really anxiety to me. It's like, it's hideous. The fake leather, it's like this cowboy pilgrim, futuristic cowboy pilgrim, but not done in the way of the 1970s, 80s space western Star Wars kind of aesthetic, where it's simple and sleek, and that's more deco than, and clean and natural, and that's good, that's cool. There's a simplicity and a reason for everything, and I'm big on everything having a purpose. And even I like my function to be my artwork, so I want to make sure that everything I have. There was an idea in the back of my head for a video. I wanted to go through, what was that? It was like, I think when I woke up this morning, I was thinking about, I don't know if it was a video or what, but it was like this. I think I was half asleep, or I'm remembering a dream. But it was something about finding those plastic items that we have around the house that don't belong. Anyway, I don't know. I'm trying to remember where this is coming from, but I don't know. But it's anyway. It's part of this whole. I don't have plastic items. Well, I try not to. You can do better. I mean, I do have clear plastic because I like to showcase my best stuff, and it's organized, and there's a place for white plastic and clear plastic. But if I'm gonna have a bucket to soak my feet in, it's not going to be a plastic bucket, it's going to be a galvanized bucket. And if I'm going to have Tupperware, it's going to be glass Tupperware with nicer rubber lids. or stainless steel containers, and I'm going to choose these things for the environment, for aesthetic purposes. I like every single item I have and use to be beautiful and functional, so that you have things. If you have these things floating around and you've got the stuff, at least it's a beautiful ceramic piece instead of a plastic junk. Even when your kitchen's all messed up, your dishes are all beautiful, it's gonna look great. And take it a step further, they're beautiful and white, then there's going to be minimal, everything's going to look the same. It's going to be just a pile of white china that's a little dirty. All you have to do is rinse it off and clean it. I don't believe in dishwashers either. Let's digress. Let's go back a little bit here. This is like a podcast of my mind. Maybe I should change my channel to the podcast of my mind. It's just me talking. Oh, and I shouldn't be on the table. I know. I do have a microphone I could use. Somebody left a comment on one of my videos the other day that it bothers them that I drop things. I used to make videos on my bed, and I used to shake, and I used to move around a lot. Well, let's talk about age now. My shoulder, I can't exercise anymore. I mean, I'm going to force myself to. I've looked up online, and I'm gonna try to. I can't do push-ups, or my shoulder's in pain. I guess it's an age thing. I'm getting old. But this is all I have. So when that goes away, I don't have a job, or my looks, or a body, and it's never been good enough. Nothing's ever been good enough. And that's not my perfectionism talking either. Like, below the poverty line my whole entire life. Like, just enough. And I've always bought the best of, like, organic food, but it was enough for me, because you don't go to movies, you don't go out to dinner. The going out to dinner thing, which I guess was fine in the 90s, but it's a relationship thing and a socializing thing, and I don't want to socialize anymore. Like, it's the same as, what am I going to make YouTube videos about anymore? Like, I was making, there's only, I mean, I can only make so many videos about fashion, and when the fact is, I just want to wear a white t-shirt and a pair of jeans. Like, I know that there's a dozen channels out there because that actually is what people are wearing. Again, because the pandemic has taught people to be simple and know what's important. I said important, weird, important. But yeah, it's all. Is this an existential crisis? It's so insignificant. But I mean, there's these things. There's memories, and there's reflecting, and there's like what I am wearing. Why not? Why not talk about it? So there's stuff that I can talk about. I mean, there's always something I can talk about, considering I don't talk to anyone. So this is my opportunity. It doesn't affect my, if any, it doesn't affect my, like, anxiety in society. I don't have a problem. I used to not be able to go to, I thought it was a problem, because people would compliment me, I would shut down. I don't remember that time. Maybe because, I don't know if it's because I don't put myself in those situations anymore, but I would go to events alone and thing. So it is different than when you're with someone. And I think most people, if you show up to something alone, would be like feeling uncomfortable. And I do have this strange thing about me where I don't think I'm good enough, because I'm not. I'm definitely not good enough. I don't fit into society. People don't have the same interests as me. I can't, such a conundrum. I don't have anything in common with anyone. Again, this is why the internet is so awesome for me. This is my opportunity to speak. Watching stuff on the internet is my opportunity to connect and feel emotion. I did recently identify the biggest, like, when I cry and get emotional at watching something, it's always when somebody recognizes something in someone. And I guess I never felt I got that. I never got the attention or a recognition for anything. And again, even in social media, and it's never been good enough. And I mean, that's from the very beginning. And it's not like I'm not afraid of success, which is what a lot of people will tell you. I definitely do things half-assed, and I don't want to try too hard, and I don't. It's not worth it to sell out, and I don't want to do things that are hurt. I don't want to step on someone to get higher. I don't want to talk well about myself. I don't want to boast about myself. I don't want to do that. I don't schmooze. I don't believe in that. I'm not I don't believe in faking it till you make it and all of these strategies. I believe in just, well, I guess I don't believe. I believe in doing those things. I know that those things work, because guess what? When you just sit back and you try to let your own abilities and your qualities and your qualifications show for themselves, it's obviously not enough, but it is enough, because like I said, why has every year, every day been better than the one before? Because I don't push things, and I just do what I want and be who I want to be. And yes, I do have blocks because of how I was raised, or what I've been subjected to, or what I've seen over and over and over again. That's how we learn and survive. Like, I'm sick of that not being a good thing, or people saying that. And that's where racism stems from. That's where prejudice stems from. But that's also how we learn, and how we learn to stay safe is because you learn qualities of people, and you have to make educated guesses, and you need these standards. You need repetition. You need to see how people treat you, or how people act over and over again, to learn how to navigate. You see something over and over again. This is how we learn that you're not going to do that again, because you've done that. And then we also get comfortable, where you start doing something a certain way, and that is the best way to do it. And that also has negative connotations, but it probably isn't negative either, because you've decided, you've learned through time that that's the best way to do something. I have so many best ways to do something. I guess that is what I can teach. I definitely have more logic than most people on how to do the little things in life. How to do laundry. I know the most effective ways of cleaning stuff and sorting stuff. And yeah, I do have things I can teach the world here on the internet, but I am not going to preach, and I'm not going to make lists, even though that is the right way to go. And I do like to watch overproduced YouTube, but I do know how to make overproduced YouTube, but I don't want to put that time in it, especially if it's something so insignificant and it's just my opinion, and it's just, I'm not going to preach in that way. I'm not going to tell you that's the best way. It's so funny because I do know the best way of doing a lot of things. We're going to have to figure that out together. What's the best way? What's not the best way? How long have I been talking? I have to whiten my teeth. 40 minutes straight. I'm even wearing clothes today. It was a little cold, a little chilly. We're in the middle point here. Anyway, I touched on everything. 90s fashion with all the contrasting stitching is really what's bad. Really, the buckles really reminds me of pilgrims and all of that. It's not good. And then the mixed patterns and the details, and it's so funny because it is earth tones, a lot of earth tones and florals, but you're just mixing them with, and it's not mixing patterns together, which is what it kind of evolved into. They took away all of the extra embellishments, and then we started mixing patterns together, which looks awesome. I'm down with that. That part is good because it's more simple. But yeah, it's the patterns and the buckles and the contrasting stitching and the embellishments and the what a horrible time. This is a video about the 90s. No TV in the 90s. But I do really like that music, and I do really like modern music, and I do really like 80s music, and I do like 90s music. I like music from all those points. I think I was starting to say that. I don't know if I said that. I know that I've said it in other videos, but there was a segment on the John Tesh radio show that you remember. Oh my goodness, I didn't even finish talking about that when I started bringing it up. Oh man, this brain. There was a segment that said, I don't even remember what it was. It was something about your favorite music is from the best part of your life, and that's what you should listen to hype up your day and to get you going and to make you happy and to make you motivated to play the music from your favorite part of your life. But I love 80s music, but I love 70s music. I mean, I even like 50s. Do I like 50s music? 80s music is kind of hopping and popping, pop. But no, I do like 90s music. There's a lot of really cool electronic music that was really cool, and there is no favorite part of my life. It's all, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, that it's only ever gotten better, despite this. No, I can't even say that anymore. I just have to take control of now. I have to maybe become a nomad again. I've got a lot of stuff to get rid of. That is such a negative, but it's also I think it's so much money, and it's a lot of work just to get rid of, and on a bicycle, because you're so pathetic that. But I mean, I'm not destroying the environment. I'm getting exercise. All these bad things about me, all these pathetic. I wouldn't want them any different. Would I want them? Would I like to drive around in an old army jeep that's all fixed up and cool, and I live in this old castle in old Montreal, and that would be pretty sweet too. I try to remember to do that when I go to sleep and I wake up in the morning. I try to, because you're supposed to, for manifestation, but I don't believe in manifestation. Is that why it doesn't work? No, because I've been manifesting my whole entire life. Did I really only manifest enough? Just enough? Because that's all I was ready for. That's all I could take. I wonder if I would be a nasty person with. I see how power and money does change people. How it makes people feel like this. I don't think that's me. I'm pretty sure that's not me. Yeah, it's not me. I'd always have this little bit of oh yeah, I'm never gonna shake and that's good. It humbles me. I'm never gonna shake I'm weird. I'm not like everyone else. No one has the combination of interests that I have. Sure, you could say that about everyone, but not to my extent. Not to plastic toy nature boy. It just doesn't happen. These things don't collide. There's the information that I have in my head, the way that I act, my values, the fact that I am I'm so left that I'm right. That is such a good tagline for me. And it's a world that I'm from that is so common, but when I see people on the internet and stuff talk about things like vaccines and it's such a right-wing thing right now, it baffles me because it's such a purist thing too, which I don't know a lot of hippy-dippy, yeah, and there's that hippy-dippy yet computer combination with me. This is good. Contrast is awesome. It's the best part about. And I do listen to these hippy dippy people dictate and talk about how it's better to be this way, and minimalists also, how their life is so much better not having things. And I believe in having less is little, but I don't believe in having these rules where you don't save money by buying in bulk things that you know that you're going to use. Why wouldn't you save that money? You need a little bit of storage. You need to be able to have space for a little bit of storage. It does make things easier. There's just, yeah. But over accumulating is way worse, by the way, guys. You don't make an excuse for yourself to fill up a room full of things that you don't know where they are and you can't find them, and you're tripping over stuff, and that is not the way to live. That is like, go clear out a room and then see how you feel in it. It's open space. I mean, again, maybe this is all with the OCD brain thing, is that I need, and I've seen shit videos telling how things are on YouTube, saying, oh, YouTube is my TV now, right? Yeah. How opening up space is good for the OCD brain, clearing everything out, making it all clean. And it does let me work. It does let me say, okay, now that there's nothing around me, now I can get that one box project, bring it out, focus on it, do it. That really does work for me. I don't have to think about now I have to go clean some stuff because I got a lot of jumbled stuff going on around here. Anyway, this is the weirdest podcast in the world. I don't even know if I finished the memories, but we can always come back to them. The 90s, early 2000s. What happened? I don't even know. 2000s. Boy, it's 25 years since. I don't know what happened in the 24, what year is this? 2024. I don't happen those 24 years. I know what happened in the last four. It was a new era. I can't believe I had 4 years to get rid of everything. What is wrong with me? Anyway, I split up my YouTube channels. I have more YouTube channels now, and they're starting to make money again. It was the right move. This one almost monetized. The other one, two channels almost monetized, and the other one, it has doubled revenue in the last month. So I don't know if that's going to continue to climb, but it did pay up. Splitting up topics, people do not like dichotomy. They do not like contrast. I am contrast. Yes, this channel has to be contrast, because how else am I going to get it out? Is there going to be a way? I mean, if it was a lifestyle vlog channel, that would be ideal. That is what I want this to be. Like me on my everyday weird life. It really is what this channel should be. It really is what I want to do. It's really what I want to be, and how perfect to showcase this guy who is like, oh, how can he be this and that and this and that and this and that? Because I am on these total opposite spectrums. But it's like, I just did one of those. I did one of those things that I feel like this thing in my brain that would have happened to Einstein or something. Am I calling myself a genius or something? No, because I don't figure out the name of the law or anything. But I envisioned this, because it's on this side and this side, and I envisioned everything in a circle, and that's how this side and this side gets connected, because they're so far apart that they will come back together. Okay, see, I'm crazy. I'm out of here. We started with glasses on. Let's put those on again. I'm a little scruffy today, and I kind of liked it. It was a good look. I had clothes on. I talked for almost an hour. Should I draw it out for another 8 minutes? We probably could. Oh, that's what people don't like. Should I talk in a microphone? Will the microphone work with this cheap computer, because I can't get a MacBook? Will I want to edit? I don't think I want to edit anymore. I spent my that's where I excelled in school, and in other things, and afterwards in different editing programs. And I used to teach people. I used to teach editors how to edit on computer, because I was the young computer boy. I used to teach ones and I knew how to use the film. So I used to teach people. I used to teach people who edited with film. I used to take them over to the digital and show them how it had been translated into. Oh my goodness, my nose just leaked. Gotta go blow my nose. Why is that happening? Oh, it's temperature fluctuations. Oh, and maybe allergies. My throat has been good this year. I don't know what's going on with there. I usually have really sore throat this time of year. Maybe it's more of a not maybe it wasn't allergies. Maybe it was like seasonal cold disorders that... Anyway, I did have a job like that. That was kind of cool. And that's another thing. I always used to be the youngest person in the room, and then at some point it shifted, and now I'm definitely one of the older people. that's like, yeah, you can't be an old person on YouTube unless you're smart and you know things and you can help people. I can't help anyone. I can just tell my story. I mean, I think that helps the most. I really don't think telling people how things are and what to do, and these are the 5 lessons to do it. I mean, when I watch those videos, those things do hit in the back of my head. But you can't make anyone do anything. And the real lesson comes from setting an example. And if there's any legacy, anything that I would like to tell, what a great way to end this video. If there's anything I would like to tell someone about my 50 years in existence, is that, yeah, let me digress a little bit. All those things that you do that make you feel good, that help someone else, you're doing that for yourselthis isn't the main point here, by the way. But I see all these do-gooders, and from the yoga and natural healing part of my life, I see those people want to improve the world and think that they're helping everyone. Here's the thing, but the one thing that helps anyone do anything, be anything, is to set that example. So go out there, do good things for yourself, because that'll show everyone. And I mean, if that is helping other people, don't think that you're helping them, though, because you're not helping them. You are just helping yourself. But set that example. The best thing we can do to teach anyone to do anything is to set that good example. So I'm going to try not to preach to you and tell you not to keep up with the Joneses and not hustle culture. There's ways to hustle. There are ways to hustle. But can I just finish this video? There are good ways to hustle. I swear there are. I've done them. You don't have to hustle in bad, negative ways. Just set a good example, and that is the best you can do for anyone. I love you. Thanks for watching. So good. I've been hating my videos recently. Like, I go back and watch them, and I'm like, oh, I'm so bad at this. I can't do this. Because why would somebody want to watch this crap? This isn't how I'm supposed to end the video. I just ended it on a good note. I'm supposed to end it that way. Go set a good example. Be a good person. I love you. There's a good way to end.